Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Let's make no-knead focaccia bread. It's bubbly, soft inside and crusty outside. Homemade focaccia is one of my favorite bread to make. You won't believe how easy and satisfying it is to make, and you will only need 6 simple ingredients. If you wish to go back to your childhood and want to make some jiggle once again, this is the perfect time. And have fun. In a lukewarm water, I'm adding 2 teaspoons of active dry yeast with a teaspoon of sugar. Stir them, set this aside until our yeast is foamy. As a best practice, I always sift flour before I use it. About 10 minutes later, our yeast is ready to be used. It's time to mix the flour and yeast together. I'm adding 4 cups of flour and a teaspoon of salt. We are making a very wet dough. About 50% hydration is needed in this dough. So, it is very wet and sticky dough. There is no need to mess your fingers at this point. So mix the flour and liquid with a spatula. Adding water gradually will allow you to control the dough's consistency. I am adding total 2 cups of water. Add a teaspoon of olive oil and gently mix it with the dough. Mix until the dough appears smoother and almost absorb the oil. Grease a bowl, plop the dough into a bowl, rest it for 30 minutes and come back then. If you live in a cold area like me, then keep it in a warmer place. Before going to the next part, just one request. If you like the video, please do subscribe to the channel. After 30 minutes, we will start our stretch and fold process with 4 series. We are going to stretch and fold 4 times in each series. For this process, you have to wet your fingers into cold water. Water will prevent stickiness. Take one side of the dough, lift, stretch and bring to the opposite side. Rotate the bowl 1/4 and repeat 3 more times. Make sure not to tear the folds. Cover the bowl, rest them for another 30 minutes and come back again. The whole stretch and fold process will take 2 hours. For the first series, you may not notice bubbles. Eventually, you will see formation of bubbles at the end of stretch and fold process. For the last 2 series, you will notice the dough is more bubblier than the first 2 series. After the last series, you will have 2 options. 1. You can keep it in the refrigerator overnight, or 2. You can put it into the baking pan right away. I am taking the second option. In a baking pan, we are gonna add about 50 ml or 1/4 cup of olive oil. Without this quantity of oil, the bread would be a dry sponge. If your baking tray is not non-sticky, you might need parchment paper. Place the dough, wet your fingers into cold water and start spreading the dough, moving towards the edges gently. Cover and leave it for another hour. The dough needs to rise for the last time. Meanwhile, I prepare a topping for the bread. It's very simple. In an oven-proof bowl, I put some olive oil, balsamic vinegar, cherry tomatoes, rosemary, salt and pepper, and roast them into the oven until it is nice, aromatic, and medium done. Your work of waiting is over. See, the dough has risen and covered the whole baking pan. It's time to create dimples. You can grease or wet your fingers and start to dimple. Dimple, 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 and jiggle, jiggle, jiggle. It's so satisfying. Please do not pop the bubbles. I am using 9x9 baking tray. I am adding those toppings. You can add whatever topping you want. Drizzle some olive oil on top. Meanwhile, preheat your confectionery oven at 400 degrees Fahrenheit or 200 degrees Celsius and bake it for 20 to 25 minutes depending on your oven or the top is golden brown. Once it is out of the oven, transfer it to a wire rack. You want crispy bottom, not a soggy one, right? Let it cool for 5 minutes before slicing and serving. Let's see the bubbly bread. It is soft and fluffy. You can start your dinner with the bread only, or you can make a sandwich with your choice of meat. I tried my best to be with you. Thank you for your time and support. I hope you have enjoyed the recipe. Please subscribe and see you soon.